All right, hey everyone, back on the layout, doing another track plan video. As you can see, my wall of track plans has definitely grown. This was the last one and got a lot of good feedback on it. Definitely gave me some areas I needed to look at and maybe possibly change. So came over to this one now. This is my new and revised track plan. Sometimes less is more. I think here I was trying to maybe squeeze too much stuff in here, like that extra peninsula in here, and then having all this here, and then totally using this long wall for the yard. I was able to maybe rearrange a few things. A couple of people even asked, do you need a yard that long? It's a good question, and kind of made me look at revamping the plan again. So this is, I guess, version 3, third video, so version 3 for videos, but even though it's definitely more than that for me. And again, less is more. Sometimes you get a little bit more by, maybe not trying to squeeze everything in. Again, this is the door access. So what I went ahead and did here was I tried putting the loop over here, and I kind of like the placement of it now. And then I went ahead, and once I had that in place, I kind of did my aisles, made nice wide aisles. And real quick, how this guy's gonna operate is, lower level is Bakersfield Yard. And then I could probably use some of this for the yard if I needed to, or Edison. And then over here would be like Sand Cut, Bina, maybe right in here, and then it would go to double main here, go down to single for Bina, then double main here again, Caliente Creek, and then you kind of get into the Caliente area. Running this long lengthwise instead of this way over here, definitely gave me more, longer siding here. Was able to increase the siding by, I think about 5 feet or so. Especially, and this right here is just an estimate. I'm just taking those drawings and slapping them on paper. I would probably have the double main probably end about here. So definitely have longer siding. I extended Caliente, the horseshoe there, made it wider so I could make this a nicer width. Then it kind of climbs Caliente, and then you'd have probably like tunnels 1 and 2 somewhere over here. I've got them here and here just for this video. And then you'd start the Beeville siding. Beeville would have a nice long siding up to probably somewhere in here. And then you'd have tunnel 3. And this is kind of where I compromised some. I had to compress. I got rid of this peninsula here that had maybe that double siding there. Even though it was only a short double siding, is it really worth putting in here if I can't have a decent sized train, in that siding? So kind of compressed here. You'd have maybe like tunnel 3 over here on this side, maybe tunnel 5 or one of the other ones after that before tunnel 9 at Waylong. And then this would just be single track from pretty much Beeville all the way over here to the loop. You'd have the loop, climb the loop, and of course it would be double main again starting here. And then on the upper level I'd probably have Marcel, maybe Tehachapi, Monolith compressed in this long run here of about, I think it's about 20 feet or so, maybe a little bit more. I did get rid of the 3 tunnels at Cable to go from double back down to single, and then back to double. Just kind of something was going to have to come out of here, whether it's that Marcel to Tehachapi or Tehachapi to Monolith area. So I don't know, it might still be a little bit compressed in there. If so, maybe one of these 2 might here come out. There's nothing really at Marcel. It's just an area. I just have an area labeled on the map, but definitely want to have Monolith in there because it's switching opportunities. And then Tehachapi, it's a pretty cool looking town. You got the depot there and everything. And then of course, you know, like from the loop, tunnel 10 would probably be right around here somewhere. And then, you know, this would be double main all the way here to Mojave. Mojave, could turn the corner if I need it. Otherwise, I could have that 14 flyover right here, and then the two single tracks would come back here behind, here, disappear behind this scenery, and then would kind of, I was thinking about maybe taking them back here. That's why I made this a little bit wider. Just run a loop under, you know, behind the scenery. So they'd kind of come back here, come down here. And that would be to decrease elevation, so that at this door entryway, I would have these two tracks, you know, that are descending from Mojave at about the same level as this track coming off Beeville. So I'd only really need one swing gate or lift gate. And then the two tracks coming from Mojave could just still kind of come back here behind the scenery and descend a couple loops down under the Tehachapi loop back down to Bakersfield. This is obviously not to scale. The loop would be a little bit bigger. And as you can see, I've kind of got it already mapped out on the floor. I know it's hard to see with the brown track on the brown floor, but it does work. Got it all mapped out. And I'm not going to walk you guys through all of it again. Just wanted to kind of put a quick video up there and kind of show you. And I did on this area right here, which would be this area on Beeville. You know, I might just bring Beeville here and then kind of bring it a little bit more, you know, straight along here. This line right here was just a guide for my edges. Obviously, once I had a nice, you know, once I had the track figured out and placement down, you know, this would be more along the edge of that layout. And this would go away. But what I was getting at was I might bring this a little bit more straight and then come down to Beeville, and that would give me like a nice little area here for maybe like a dispatcher workstation, control station where I have my DCC stuff. Maybe a small little workbench. That way, you know, my TV's on the wall here. And then I have a good idea of a good viewpoint of, you know, the entire layout. So, let me know what you guys think. I like this one. I'm pretty happy with it. Yards are about 16 inches wide on this. This wall is about 16 inches wide for the yard, and Mojave probably about a foot wide. So, and I can move some things around a little bit if needed. Like, you know, if I needed to extend Bakersfield Yard into here, I could always compress Edison, you know, have it a little bit further up here. Same with Mojave on the upper level. If I needed, you know, Mojave to start further down here and then end here, it would give me that option to put all three of those in. But I'd rather have Mojave just kind of on that straight run. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I kind of like this one. We'll see what happens.